Hey Alex, this is John, West Coast Connects. We reached out and spoke with you last week, promised this free video, so here it is. I'm going to keep things really short and sweet. Just want to show you 3 tips that you could do to maximize your traffic online and potentially improve upon your website a little bit. So, with that, let me get started. Your website looks pretty well put together. I really like your logo, that looks pretty neat. The images that you have here are really nice images. You have a click to call, which is fantastic. Potentially I would add a form submit right here. Typically, a lot of people don't go below this area right here. So if you have a form submit, people can go right to your form submit from here. But that's the only change I would make there, honestly. But looking through your site, the one thing that stands out is there's not a ton of content here. And content is really important for a couple of reasons. The first is so that you could be found for particular keywords, right? And I went ahead and looked in Katy, but I mean, there's content that, there's the same rules apply for Cypress and Spring, and there's volume in both of them. But if you look here, there's 2,300 searches a month for roofing of some way, shape, or form in Katy. Katy Roofing, Katy Roof Repair, Katy Roofer, Katy Roofing Companies, whatever it may be. But say I wanted to rank for Katy Roofing, right? I would have that Katy Roofing as it's typed within my, as a heading, within my content, saved as a photo. The more, not the more you have, the better, but you definitely want it a few times throughout your content. And having it verbatim as it's typed in the headings and different things is important. And Google, when they crawl that, they see that you have that keyword verbatim and you have it in a couple of content or in a couple of locations and in a couple of different contexts. And when you add those keywords throughout your content, you're more likely going to be ranked. And the more content you have, the more keywords you could be found for. And looking through these keywords that you are ranking for, so you're ranking for 28 keywords. Most of them are your name. uh, you know Construction, Texas, Houston. But when you get to stuff that's not your name, if you look, you're not higher than the 6th page on anything. So anything outside of your name, you're not really ranking on, to where you're going to get any traffic. Like Katy Roofing, 100 searches a month, you're at the middle of the 7th page. Cypress Roofer, you're at the bottom of the 8th page. Katy Roofing Contractor, top of the 8th page. Katy Gutters, you're at the top of the 8th page. So you're just not really far enough up to get much traffic. And so those keywords are really important. And then also um, content, how much, the quantity is important as well as the quality. And it's one of the reasons why you see Wikipedia or Yelp, they do so well, because they're doing different things that I'm going to tell you today, but also they have a ton of content. And the more, content's king, the more content you have, assuming it's good content, the better. My second tip would involve this Google Business Profile to really build upon it. And potentially, if you have locations in San Antonio and Austin, to maybe build 3 of them and have this one more focused on Houston and then or area, the Katy, Cypress, Spring area, and then have one that focuses on Austin and one that focuses on San Antonio, because these are really hard to, it's almost impossible to rank these for this location. But assuming that you wanted to rank this for your areas there, one of the ways that you do it is adding reviews. Reviews are very important in, showing Google that your clients trust you, that you're working, and that if they trust you, if your clients trust you, they should trust you, Google, and they start ranking you for that. So you have a 5-star review, which is fantastic. Continue to build on this. If you get one or two a week, if you can get one or two a week, that will really help in building this up. And making sure your hours and your phone number and your address and all that stuff is pretty consistent throughout the web. So if you have a Yelp page, for instance, and your hours are different or it's different on your website, Google's going to ding you for that because they want to see that people can get on the web on different platforms and get the accurate information, the correct information. So making sure this information is pretty consistent. And then, really with the photos, you want to save them as keywords and geotag them. So if I'm wanting to rank for Katy Roofing, I would save a photo as that and I might tag it for this location, right? Geotag it for here. And Google will feel that you did the roof or you did some repair or you did something in that particular area. And your Google profile kind of grows like a mushroom. It'll kind of build and grow from there. So, I'll kind of go over why this is important in a minute as well. And then last but not least, continue to build and grow your site. So, you have 10 referring domains that are sending a little over 400 backlinks to your site. And the referring domains is where you get your power from. And these do follow links in particular, because the do follow links are referring domains that are sending, you know, strength to your site. Okay. And that will build and grow this numerical value. And you know, typically what you want is you want to be in the 20s, 30s, 40s, and you would like to see a much higher do follow. And just to show you kind of what that looks like, this is Rose Roofing. They're big in the in the area, and as you can see, their site they're in the 20s. They're almost a 1-to-1 ratio, which is kind of what you're looking for. They have 178 referring domains that are sending a little over 1,000 backlinks. And you had 2 do follow links. They have 144 that are sending them power. So big difference. And you can see here they're getting a lot of traffic every month. So the reason why these are both really important is because everybody searches differently. So some people click on the first thing they see, which is a great reason to run an ad, right? If you have an ad that's running at the at the top. Um, the people that search on the first thing they see, that's what they're going to click on. Let's change this to roofing company Katy and see if we can't get a map pack there. Okay. The second time people, the second thing people click on is one of these, roofing contractors or these map packs, so is what we call them, the Google business profiles. And they could pull up to 40% of the traffic. So on a, if this has 100 searches a month, 40 of them right off the bat are going to these top 3. And, people like to click on these and they're pretty effective in getting people to your website or to your phone number. And then last but not least, the organics, if whoever's ranking on that, they're pulling in traffic there, and some people go right down to the organics. So if you're running an ad and you're number one here and you're number one here, you're going to pull as much traffic as you possibly can. So really important to kind of go after those things. So those are kind of my 3 tips. I hope it's been helpful and informative. If you need some help, please feel free to reach out. My contact information is in the email. We would love some feedback either way. So if you could, respond in the email, that would be great, or whatever, capacity you'd like. If you'd like to speak with us, I do have a link to my Google Calendar. Feel free to schedule some time. I have my business partner Jackie's there in Tomball. She'd be happy to reach out to you at whatever time fits your schedule. So with that, have a great day and God bless. Thanks, Alex.